morning, good morning, good morning, good morning from around the world. My goodness. Look at all these beautiful, happy, smiling faces I see this morning. My Lord, I love it. Well, first of all, I'd like to say hello to Regional Director, Miss Natasha Ismail. Good morning, Regional Director from Fresno. Oh, our friends in Japan. Japan are already on the call today. From Japan, thank you so much for joining us. Regional Director, Mr. Brian Baker, my dear friend out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Mr. Gray, part of the bakery organization. Mr. Daryl Ranton out of Nashville, thank you so much. Ms. Pat Robinson out of Oakland, how you doing, dear? Miss Caroline Baker out of the bakery organization. Miss Castro down there in Phoenix, Arizona. That lady's amazing. And also Mr. out of Mexico, Mr. Sergio. Good morning, sir. All right, there he is, smiling with a salute. Thank you. Miss Natalie out of Las Vegas, thank you. Selma, thank you so much. And also Pat and Frank Bowman out of Elk Grove, California. I see you. Frank's always in the back waving. There you go, sir. Good, Mrs. Bowman. Ms. Bowman, thank you so much. Hey, and we also have a great call lined up. As you know, this is follow-up Thursday. This young man is no stranger to this call, and we want to thank him for the month of June to come on here with some blessing, with just a down-home chit-chat with you for your spirit, your soul. And I like to get him on here as fast as possible. And we all know who he is. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm dropping stuff here in my office. My daughter was in here earlier messing around with her stuff. So I want to thank you all. Oh, and Miss LaCoya out in San Diego, Regional Director also out there in San Diego. Thank you for joining back in on the call. I know she's getting her salon ready to get clients in because they, got to get their hair done. So we thank you for joining as well today, dear. Well, without further ado, this young man is family man. He's been on our call constantly every Thursday, the month of June. He's also sought after by the co-founders to do the international call and the calls that we have for the corporate calls. He's also a great father, great husband. He also has been around ACN for a long time. And I'm telling you what, he's one of my favorites. And I always say that when I send out, he's one of my favorite speakers and trainers. Without further ado, the great, the one and only Mr. Dean Tarrolly. Good morning, sir.
Thomas. Sir, good morning. I don't, you know what? No one can do that like you. So I could say good morning, good morning, good morning. It's just, it ain't going to be the same. So we all get coached up on that. If everybody can start their day like that, it's awesome. So yeah, you guys, I've been looking forward to this call. We covered a lot of ground last week, and, we talked about getting something done this week. And, a lot of you are really good about having your cameras on and being interactive. I know some of you, maybe you can't because you're driving or you're in a, situation that, you can't have your camera on. But if you can, I think it's important. What we were going to do today was very specific. We were going to talk about results, getting a result, something to advance your business over the course of the last 7 days. So
oh, yeah.
I just want to go over a couple quick things with you before we do this. And I want to dive in and I want to see who we're actually going to hear from. My goal, you guys, is to get you out of the stands and on the field, right? Like we got to get you out of the stands and on the field. I mean, it's time to, it's time to get some elbow grease. It's time to get a little dirty. It's time to time to get your nose bloodied up a little bit, right? It's time to, because if you don't, I mean, you guys, it's so frustrating, I think, to watch other people. Let's be honest real quick. I mean, hopefully we're honest all the time, but I want to tell you guys something. Just human nature. Isn't it frustrating to see anyone do anything that for a fact you're capable of doing? You see someone who, it's so frustrating. I can do that. I can present like them. I could play on that team. I could do that job. And it's so frustrating. So here's what's crazy. My mom, which some of you may know from some stories that I've told, my mom is a crisis counselor. She's out in Minnesota and She lives outside of the Twin Cities. And she said, I was talking to her about some of the stuff that I go through. And this was a conversation that happened a while ago. And I said to my mom, I said, Mom, I'm so frustrated trying to get this position, trying to help these people, it's so frustrating. And she goes, my mom's 100 pounds soaking wet, and she's the toughest, strongest person I've ever met in my life. Right. She's 100 pounds soaking wet, holding weights in her hand. She's tough, man. She's tough. And here's what my mom said. I said, Mom, I'm so frustrated. The same things over and over, and the same issues, and the people not whatever. And she goes, let's talk about frustration. I said, okay, great. I said, great. And she goes, frustration is a blocked goal. That's it. Frustration is a blocked goal. So, one thing that you guys might think about is this: if you don't get too frustrated with what's going on in your ACN business, you actually may not have a goal set up in this thing. Right? Like we've talked about this too. Jim Rohn says, it's not the blowing of the wind, it's the set of the sail. Well, where's your goal? You're not even worried about the sail or the rudder or any of that stuff if you don't have a goal that you're trying to get to. So what I want to do is let you know that the frustration's okay. You have to know that it's a blocked goal. It's a goal that you have that you're not getting to for whatever reason. And it's frustrating. How about traffic? Perfect example, traffic, right? When you're going somewhere and I'm going somewhere, we're trying to get to Mr. Thomas's house because we're having dinner. And sure enough, we come over the hill on one of the highways on the way out to his house, and there's lights and there's traffic. Frustrated? Is it frustrating? It's super frustrating. Here's the question. Can you do anything about the traffic? No. There's a big difference. See, here, you can do something about that frustration. So long as you're taking action. See, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't go out and start moving cars, right? But here you can do something about your frustration on maybe where your business isn't where you want it to be. You take action, and everything comes down to action. And last week we talked about results, a tangible, recordable, communicatable result. That's what we talked about. Getting a result of something from last week to this week. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to unmute people. And I don't know who's driving. Al, I'm sure you're driving. Natasha, I don't know if you're partially driving the ship here. Okay, cool. So what, and you guys, we talked about, by the way, I'm in the garage right now. I have a work set up in my garage, and it's because I can't be in the front yard. There's all kinds of noise and stuff going on out there. So if it looks a little different, you're not imagining anything. Okay, cool. But you know what? Leaders adapt, right? You adapt, you figure it out, you go where you got to go, you do what you got to do to get the result you want. So we're going to talk about it. And I'm just going to, you guys, this is going to be a little bit, it may be a little bit awkward, but you got to just kind of roll with it. It's a really good leadership lesson. Like sometimes you just got to roll with what happens. So as we go through some names and some results, first of all, I want to let you know, I appreciate people's willingness to have some courage to share their result. I'm telling you, you're on your way to a promotion just by being willing to do that. Cause you're kind of letting the world know that you're serious about your business. And check this out. When you do get promoted, and you will, right? Everyone on this call will remember today, because they'll remember that you actually put yourself out there. By the way, and leaders do that every day. Leaders put themselves out there every day. So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and start with Natasha, just because she's, I've worked with her, kind of extensively, done some coaching calls and things like that. But I just want you guys to hear, because a lot of you want to become regional directors. So it's a great place to start to hear from a regional director. We'll hear from Chris and Rose if we get a chance here in a minute. So we're going to start with them, and then I'm going to go through. And what did we talk about last week in terms of a result? We talked about what? Anything that drove your business forward as it results to two areas, right? Acquiring a customer or a new team member. Helping someone get a new customer and what happened. Helping someone sign up a new team member and what happened. Not, I felt like this and this is, you guys, this, you'll see maybe a slightly different side of me today a little bit. This is not about, listen, we are removing emotion from this part of the conversation. We are removing emotion from this part of the conversation. This is a tangible business partner conversation. What happened over the course of the last week? And for some of you, if the answer is literally nothing, then be honest. The worst thing that anybody can do is not be honest about what happened in their business, because then you're only kidding yourself. Right. And that's not productive. Al doesn't want that. I know he doesn't want that. I don't want that. Right. So yeah, we can discuss the results of how many people did you peak, right? How many people did you peak? How many customers did you personally sign up? Okay. How many people did you peak? How many customers did you sign up? How many presentations did you do or participate in? And how many people signed up on the team? And this is going to be fun, you guys. And it's very revealing. It's very revealing. Okay. So, oh, that's awesome. Magley just asked us to put the entire call on hold for a second. Well, no, I'm just kidding. She went like this. She went, and she walked away. Okay, cool. So I'm sure what that means is that she probably does not want me to start until she comes back. But does this make sense to everybody? Okay, cool. You guys, I don't care if it's business or sports or music or entertainment or whatever. People need to, you guys, write this down before I dive into this. Write this down. I need to track my activities and results. I need to track my activities and results. There are so many people out there, you know, leadership this, leadership that. You know, I used to joke around about this all the time. And if I'm hurting anybody's feelings here, I hope I'm not. But, you know, tough if I am, because that's not why Mr. Thomas has me on the call. So you guys see those people like on Instagram and social media, and they do this? Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I haven't had enough coffee yet. These people crack me up. Hold on. They'll be on a walk, or they'll be like, whatever, outside, and they start doing a selfie Instagram kind of thing, or a Facebook Live. I'm doing a Facebook Live. Okay, great. And they're like this. They're like, and you can just see it. They're, hey everyone, just wanted to, yeah, I got to share some thoughts on what's going on and some philosophies that I hope will help all of you. You know, when you're building a business, I think it's really important that, you know, you have to really have a goal. You have to have a goal set. Okay. And you're looking at this person going, first of all, he's got 2 viewers. And the second thing, you're like, who the hell is this guy? Who is this guy talking? I don't know one thing about what you've done. I don't know who you are, what you've done. The biggest goal that you may have accomplished in your life is getting your dog walked. I have no idea. Right? So, and I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying, like, they're all, you guys, do you agree? Like, they are all out there and they all start the same way. Hey, everyone, just wanted to, you know, I'm thinking about some things. I want to help everybody. And here's something I think will help all of you. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so we're not going to be those people. I have a philosophy. I want to here's what we're going to do. Natasha, if you can unmute yourself for a second. And you guys, I want to get as many of these in as we can so people can understand. And this is a team, right? Natasha, will you tell everyone about your last week and specifically reps that added this week, customers that were added this week, exposures that you did this week? That would be great.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Tarrolly.
Of course.
109 messages. So conversations this week. 28 peaks, 15 exposures, 2 personal PBRs, and no customers or business partners yet.
Okay, so now I appreciate this is important. So you love how she put yet on the end. That's great. But you guys hear those numbers, 28 peaks yielded us 15 exposures. So what I might do, right, if I was working with Natasha on a daily basis with those numbers, you know, all the messages that went out, 28 peaks, 15 exposures, what I would say is this: of the 15 exposures, of those 15 exposures, was there anybody or is there anybody who is genuinely interested in our opportunity and in our business? That would be what would your answer be?
About less than 5.
Great. You need to get those 5 people on the phone with me. You need to get those 5 people that have a level of interest on the phone with someone other than you, who's in an edifiable position to create a conversation to move them into some sort of another exposure. Hey, let's get together. Let me break down the comp plan. Let me share with you how this could work based on your circumstances, but no feeling involved. So here's some numbers. 28 peaks yielded us 15 exposures. About half of them were open to look. Of those 15, about 5 of them are open to, were positive and showed some level of interest. Do you guys see how that works? Okay, perfect. And I would also say, you know, we don't want to try to go week over week without getting a customer. We want to get a customer on the book somewhere in there. That's important. And you know, I always, and I know that Natasha's answer is going to be yes. That's why I didn't ask her, but I always ask people for permission to have this conversation. But you guys knew about this last week. So, you know, so Natasha, I appreciate it. Thank you for being the leader that you are. Roxanne, let's, wait, did I just, hang on one second, Roxanne. Did I just lose Chris King? Oh no, there's Chris. Chris, can you unmute yourself and put your camera on for a second? If that is possible. There he is. Hey brother, how are you?
Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Hey brother, so can you give us some numbers, some things from the last week? Number of customers, number of reps, number of exposures. You got muted. Let's see. We good?
Better?
Better.
Okay. So actually, yeah, for Rose and I, but there's someone I'm going to point out. I'm going to ask if he can unmute himself and maybe give some information, because we're having a big spurt right there. But for us, we did 4 personal points this week. We did 4 exposures, and individually with Rose and I, she did 15 reach out to cold market social media, and I did 10.
Okay,
so,
great.
but I want to see if Mr. Ed Navarro can unmute himself.
Let me see.
See if I can find him here. Are you there, Mr. Navarro?
Hey, Ed.
There you go.
Right. Okay.
All right. Yeah, so Mr. Navarro's can tell you a little bit about his background, but business owner, and then what's going on in his organization and what we're working with. So,
all right, Ed, fire away. I'm listening. Go for it.
All right. Well, the last week, I have an ETL. One of my downlines became an ETL, and then she actually brought somebody else into the business, which they're now customer qualified. And within the last week, I also have 3 new customers for ID Seal. So I got a total of 14 points for those 3 customers.
Okay, so and what position are you?
I'm ETL.
Okay, so ETL, you put 14 points. Is that, and that is in your personal business, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. So Ed, how much? I beg your pardon?
That was my personal points, the 14.
Perfect. So Ed, let me ask you a question. How many personal points do you have right now?
112.
So you guys, someone's business not only just advanced on the books, he's about to break through another level of residual. See, I know people that I gotta get into my books. I got my paperwork to do for my business. I got this and that. Well, if they applied that here, they would start to see their business grow over and over. So Ed, I'm going to challenge you, man. Like, I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
Here's your challenge. Here's your challenge if you choose to accept it. You need to be at 150 points by the end of this month. How great of a story will it be on Mr. Thomas's call that you guys have a new 150 customer point champion on this call? So that's great. And then, so what I do as a leader, I would say, okay, Chris, that is phenomenal for you and Rose. Now, what are you guys going to do outside of Ed? See, where you want to see progression and you want to see business start to happen is you have activity happening personally. You have activity happening with someone who's an up and coming leader like Ed Navarro. And now outside of Ed, you have business happening. Watch what happens to your business. This is probably something that because I don't know the entire history. I know a bit of the history with Mr. Thomas, but I can guarantee you this: there's nobody who hits his position who doesn't think this way. This is about production in multiple organizations. And that is a trackable, definable measuring stick for your business. So you guys aren't coming onto this call week after week and month after month, feeling good and getting inspired and hearing amazing things that someone like Mr. Thomas has to say, but your business isn't advancing. So now I get to come in and be the Italian heavy. So it's cool. Good job, Ed. Really good. So, and thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. So Roxanne, so you guys, for those of you who don't know Roxanne Corlejo, Roxanne is one of my regional directors out in San Antonio. And she knows that I've been doing this call pretty frequently over the last, few months with you guys and Mr. T. And she started plugging in. And I want you guys to hear what happened. Now, remember, the real goal here was reps, exposures, new people joining the team, and how many customers hit the books. That's the tangible thing we're talking about here. So Roxanne, will you give everybody some results from the last week?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dean. I actually only tracked results from last week. So the exposures, I'm not quite sure. I went through my calendar and I led 6 presentations. That's between myself, my team, PVZs, and one-on-one. So 6 total. As far as the numbers go, I'm not 100% sure exactly how many exposures. We'll make sure I track those this following week.
That'd be great.
For personal points, I put in 3. My team has put in 12, and I had signed up 2 reps since last Thursday.
2 new business partners this week. Okay, outstanding. So here's what I want you guys to know, right? That is a tangible, trackable, recordable, discussable, no emotion. On that day, the thing happened with my dog. And look, I want your dog to be okay, but that's not the purpose of this conversation. This conversation is laser. This is a laser conversation. So now what's my goal for Roxanne this week? If she did 4 personal points, she signed up 2 reps, and she put in 12 points as a team, what should the goal this week be for the team? For the team, it's got to be 20 to 50 points, right? Some referrals, whatever. We want the team points to grow. That's going to help her go RVP. We want to make absolute certain that the 2 business partners that signed up, what should happen for them? Anybody want to unmute themselves, take a shot at this? What should happen for the 2 business partners?
Another rep.
A rep for a rep. How do you do that?
PVZ.
PBZs, you got to get them launched properly. You got to get them launched properly. Mr. Thomas, I don't even think I've ever done a launch call on this Thursday. Whatever, we can talk about that another time. Anyway, I'm going all. So, anyway, my point is, those are the kind of tangible results that we can start to build on. Here's the other way I think. She got 2 reps this week. Those 2 reps could turn into 20 by the end of the month. That's the duplication business that we're in. You want to know how to become senior vice president? Now, I'm not a senior vice president, but I have a handle on it. You got to have a duplicatable business. That's something that Mr. Thomas mastered. You got to have things that duplicate out. And we've talked about this over and over. You want good things. You want effective and write this down, please. Effective and efficient duplication. You want things to duplicate out that are effective and are efficient. Okay, so yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, boss. Interesting you talked about that, but in Ed's organization, the lady who made ETL and also has that 30 customer or personal points brought someone to see the business the other day, and she's wants to get started. She's not ready to get started yet. She's putting the money together. But what happened was we already set it up. So now we already have, like you talk about, the tap route. She's already got 3 people we're going to be showing the business to over the next day or two.
Perfect.
And she hasn't even started yet.
Perfect. Perfect. So now check this out. That's great. Check this out. You guys write this down just because of something that Chris just said. And I'm going to swing back around to going through some more numbers with you guys. Check this out. You guys write this down. I'm telling you. In the absence of value, money is an issue. If people don't see enough value in something, $199 becomes an issue. So what's your job in a presentation? And that's not the training on this call, but he brought up an important point. In the absence of value, money is an issue. What's your job? To create value. So how do you get good at it? Get good at it, right? Practice. In the absence of value, money is an issue. Okay, great. So let's do this. Let's go. Hey, Patricia Harris Bowman. Let's see if we can get you. Gotcha, Chris. I appreciate that.
Good morning, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
How are you? How'd things go this last week? Exposures, customers, maybe new reps?
No new reps,
Okay.
but customers, we have been speaking with, let's see, I spoke with 6 people this week so far, and 2 are interested in becoming customers.
Okay.
And no new business partners.
Okay, gotcha. So this is the type of person that I love to work with because they're completely 100% transparent, brutally honest. So what I would say is this. See, you can't get to 2 if you don't pass 1. So look, I'm just going to challenge you. We got to get a customer on the books this week, and you can make it for whatever reason. You guys, I'm part of a leadership group, and I have a goal that I have to hit to stay a part of this leadership group. Would you do me a huge personal favor? Please. I need a customer, and I want your opinion on the service. Could be ID seal, whatever. And you need to make it happen that way. So we're going to go. So here's my goal for the Bowmans. We're getting you on the books this week. We are getting you on the books this week with a tangible result, period. Like that's going to happen. Right? And you can say whatever you need to say to let that person know. Right? I would tell you that customers come as a result of more exposures. Customers come as a result of more exposures. So the more exposures you have, the more opportunity that you're going to have to acquire customers, because the people that pass on the business, now you're signing them up as a customer. So we're going to move those zeros to 1s or higher across the board. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay, cool. I appreciate it. So thank you, sir. You got it. Sergio, how are you, man? Oh, I think we're muted. Okay. Oh, sorry, Natasha. I'm not really giving you much of a heads up here. You're doing awesome. So, hey, Sergio, you're muted again. Let's unmute you. Hang on, guys.
Sergio, when it asks you to unmute, go ahead and click yes on it.
Got it?
There you go. Perfect.
Good. Greetings from Mexico.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Nice I always see, nice to hear you. How'd things go this last week? Customers, reps?
Okay. Well, we picked 30 in the team. We followed up with 10. We got 6 exposures. We were able to get 2 reps customer qualified. I actually, I assisted in a rep to acquire their first AT&T wireless customer. from a brand leader here in Mexico in the United States. So that's something that we're, really happy about.
Great.
And we added a new rep in the Northern Arkansas Spanish market.
You guys, time out. All right, time out. Here we go. This is exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And by the way, no different than Patricia. Here's what happened. No emotion. Here's the result. And here's what happened from our action. That's it. That's what this is about. That's what this call. You guys, if you do not do this, in my opinion, if you do not do this within your business weekly, you're spectating, you're not participating. Right? So let's talk about this. You got a new you helped a new person get promoted. You got multiple new customers in the organization. You got a new business partner in a country you don't live in, and you assisted that person in getting AT&T Wireless up and running. You guys, I would tell you that is a business that's on its way to having production. Notice I did not say that his business arrived. None of us have arrived. I haven't arrived. Al's kind of arrived. And the rest of us haven't arrived, right? But does that make sense, you guys? Those are tangible, recordable results. Awesome. Congratulations, man. Well done. Now, here's the deal. You guys, you're going to start to get the theme here, and I'm not going to have to say this with everybody. Here's the deal. This person needs a private business Zoom setup, which I'm sure you have, for this week. And how quickly, listen to me, listen, you guys, how quickly can we get the new person a result? How quickly can we get your new person a result? Why? That's going to build their belief and their trust in you and in the system. And then they're going to want to put people in front of you. How do these regional directors do 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 100 reps a month? This is how they do it. Get them a result, duplicate as quickly as possible. So Natasha, let's go to Magli. Sergio, great job. Great job. Hello, Ms. Castro. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Thank you, Mr. Tarrolly. I have 3 peaks that I've done, 3 exposures, and I'm working on a current sphere that may convert into a Vivint. That's basically it. No business partners.
Okay, no problem. So watch this. 3 exposures, right? So you said 3 peaks, but they were actually exposures. So you probably, if you look at it, you probably peaked more people than the number of people that got exposed, right? I mean, so it's just things that you want to make sure that you're tracking, right? So 3 exposures, that's great. Are any of those exposures open to learning more, or it's just not for them, or it's just a timing issue or whatever?
I will follow up to find out this week.
You guys, don't miss that part. The fortune's in the follow-up, man. Like that's the key, right? So now, and by the way, nobody's in trouble here. When I tell you that this is non-emotional, this is getting us on the same page so we can track a result. So here we go. And I appreciate, just like I said to Patricia, I appreciate you guys being so open with this, because you can't advance if you're not. So check this out. If we were to have a business conversation, you and I are in Dean Magley Inc. We would say the result, not the effort, but we would say the result. We didn't have any customers or reps this week, right? That would be the result. Is that correct?
Right.
Cool. You're not in trouble. How do we change that for this coming week? See, if I don't come in every once in a while and have this conversation, I have failed you. Now, not you. Listen to me, you guys. I have failed you and Mr. Thomas if we're having the same conversation in 90 days. Because that means that the things that we've talked about have not translated into tangible action to advance your businesses, which is what my job is. Right? So check this out. Magley, do you think from this week to next week, you will have a customer on the books, and you will have tripled, okay, which would mean 9 exposures? Can you do it? I just set a goal for you.
Absolutely.
Perfect. You guys, if I can get in your heads and start to tweak this a little bit, your ACN businesses, in my opinion, will completely change. And you'll be like, oh my God, I did 9 exposures this week. I remember last week I did 3 and I wasn't even that busy. Well, now I know I can do 20 exposures, and now you start getting into the numbers game, the non-emotional action result numbers game. That's it. So Magley, I appreciate you being so open about it. Great job. I can't wait to see what happens this week. Really well done. Dalila? I'm sure I didn't say that right. I didn't say it right, did I? Did I? Okay, Natasha, can we? Hey, how are you?
Hi,
Hi. How'd things go this week?
it went good, and you did pronounce my name right. That is pronounced in Spanish. So
Oh
thank-
man, so you know what? That's a win already.
let's see. This past week, I'm not necessarily recording peaks.
Okay.
I haven't recorded peaks, but I do it as they flow in.
Okay.
Exposures. I had 7 exposures.
Great.
We have 3 PBCs.
Okay.
1 partner came into the organization
Fantastic.
out of Texas, and I had 4 quotes for Vivint,
Okay.
and we had 1 new customer in the organization.
Perfect. Watch this. You guys, this is so good. See, you guys get me fired up talking about this stuff. So here we go. Check this out. Let's have a conversation. Ready? I'm going to trip you guys out. We have an organization that we used to, that I participate in, and I did for years and years and years and years and years, where we would get together at very inconvenient times of the day. We would start our meetings at midnight. That's when the meeting would start, and it was all accountability. So I'm gonna trip you guys out. If I'm telling you, okay, so we're not gonna do this for the balance of the call, but I want you guys to hear how a business conversation would track the core elements that I talked about. So let's talk about this for a second. Watch this. We've got exposures, we've got new customers, and we've got new business partners. Ready? So I just want you guys to hear this, okay? Non-emotional, result-oriented business partner conversation. Here goes. Ready? Dahlia, all I want you to do is give me the number. Ready? Watch this, you guys. Watch this. Here goes. Okay, you're good. Don't worry about it. You're not. You're good. Here goes. How many exposures this last 7 days? I just want the number.
7.
How many customer points this last 7 days?
4.
How many new reps this last 7 days?
1.
So if in my old school tracking, here's what I would do with every one of you. I go, hey, Sergio, Al, Natasha, Magley, Dahlia, and Dahlia, you would give me these numbers. Now watch this. Exposures, customer points, number of new reps. I just want you to say those numbers in a row. Watch this. Go ahead. So, hey, Dahlia, what were your numbers this week?
741.
Done. Hey, Akiko, what were your numbers this week? You're like, whoa, dude, hold on. That's pretty. No, that's not harsh. That's business. As your leader, I want to be able to have a tangible way to be able to track what's going on in the organization. So Dahlia says to me 741. I already know 7 exposures, 4 new customer points, 1 brand new business partner. Boom. So now we get through the past results, and we can now set up the future for the following week. Delilah, right?
Yes.
I'll make sure I say it right. Dude, that's great. So we're going to build on that this week. The 7 exposures, I would say 14 this week. By the way, you guys, 14 exposures? Let's talk about this for a second. 14 exposures, everybody's at freaking home. That's 2 a day. That's 2 a day. Part of what I do with this, and Mr. Thomas, if we had more time, and if we had the ability to do this again, now it's about taking people's goals and doing what? Stretching them a little bit. Everything, Greg Provenzano talks about everything takes place in the last 10%. The 110% earner, it's from 100 to 110 that makes all the difference. So we stretch these goals a little bit. Watch what happens for you. Delilah, really great job. Really great job. That's awesome. That is awesome. Now the train is moving in the right direction. Akiko, Oh, you're getting her unmuted. Greetings. Oh, wait, she got remuted. Ah.
Oh, I got unmuted now.
There we go. Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. How'd things go this week?
So I'm gonna go 4 exposures, 8 customer points, and then no new reps.
Okay, watch this. So Akiko, watch this. Give me the numbers, the 3 numbers right in a row. Exposures, customer points, and reps. Watch this. I think you said 10, 8, and 0, right?
10, yeah, sorry, yeah, 10, 8 is, yeah.
Okay,
I just like it right now.
I'm just, I shocked everyone. Proof that I'm actually listening. Okay, cool. So here's what it would be. If you guys, this is great stuff. 10, 8, 0. What do we want to do? First of all, great job on the exposures. We can't advance our business in any way without the exposures. Great job. This week, we want to try to take the 10 exposures. Let's see if we can make it 15 to 20. See, I know that if this next week you go from 10 exposures to 15 to 20 exposures, you're getting results, right? You can't make dinner without the ingredients. You can want a dinner, but if there's no ingredients in the kitchen, you're not making any dinner. So we got to have the exposures. Great job. 8 customer points. Great job. You advanced your business this week. It's great. Do you guys understand that all the stuff, and I'm not trying to speak for the other leaders that Mr. Thomas has on this call, but all of those conversations, in my opinion, and if there's another opinion, that's great. But in my opinion, all of those conversations lead to this conversation. Is your business advancing? Akiko, great job. That's awesome. That is awesome. But thank you so much. So we have some goals for next week, right? Awesome. Miss Belinda Batiste. Oh, wait. Sorry, Natasha. I'm not giving you any heads up. Hey, Al, I know we're over a half an hour here. Are we good? Do I need to wrap it up or can we do a couple more? Okay, good. Mr. Thomas is like, so by the way, you guys, when Mr.
A couple
Thomas
more.
When Mr. Thomas does this to me, he's either saying keep going or Dean, you're certifiable crazy. Okay, cool.
Keep going.
All right. Belinda, fire away.
Okay, I had 4 exposures. I'm sorry, 4 peaks, 2 exposures, no customers or partners.
Okay, gotcha. So watch this. First of all, thank you for being so honest about it. I can't wait to see what happens this week. Do you think it is possible that we could expand and stretch the number of exposure, the number of peaks and exposures?
Absolutely.
So I want you to give me, in front of everyone, I want you to give me a number that you are going to hit, not a number that you're shooting for. I hope Dean, I hope to do this week. Hope is a super important emotion, but it's a terrible business strategy. It doesn't work. So I just want you to give me a goal for the number of peaks that you are absolutely going to hit. And I want you to stretch that number. What would it be?
10.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do as a coach is here we go. So 10 exposures is barely over 1 a day. So I'm going to say 14. It's 2 a day. It's like a vitamin in the morning and a vitamin. Now we're talking about peaks.
10 a day?
No, I'm saying a couple a day, a couple of peaks a day is going to lead you to exposures.
Okay.
Okay. So do you accept the challenge?
I do.
Great. That's it. Super important. Super important. So now we know you guys, here's what's so great. When you set a goal that you're excited about, you're already looking forward to this week. You're looking forward to getting after their goals. Human beings tend to be goal driven. So if you set a goal, let's go after it. I can guarantee you 1000%, Al Thomas did not hit senior vice president without a goal. No freaking way, man. It doesn't happen. It doesn't just you guys, that stuff doesn't just fall into place. There was directed, decided, definitive action that was taken and goals that were achieved, right? Okay, perfect. So Perla Bernal. Oh no, do we freeze up? Hang on. Are we good?
Good morning.
Hello, Miss Perla Bernal.
Good morning.
How was this last week for you?
Great. I had 3 PBRs, well, PVZs, 3 Vivents, which are 24 points, 10 peaks, 4 exposures, and Saturday I have a new IBO.
You guys, okay, watch this. What, Perla, great. So here's what I want you to tell me in a row. Exposures, customer points, new business partners.
424, 1. Oh, 0 for as of now until Saturday.
Shoot, my internet connection just got unstable. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me figure out what's going on here. Okay. Perla, I'm sorry. Can you say it one more time?
424, 0.
424, 0, but you're about to have somebody sign up.
Saturday.
Okay, great. So you guys, tangible result, a tangible, recordable, trackable result. Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. We'll do 2 more. I just lost Pat Robinson. Where did she go? These squares are moving around on me here. Let me see.
I don't see her.
I literally just saw her 1 second ago. Okay. And let me find out. Okay. Anyway, so unless there's somebody who wants to give their numbers, you guys, let me tell you something. A call like this, to me, is as important as any of the other calls, because now we're in the business of being in business together, right? And you can't build what you can't track, right? It doesn't make any sense. Like Mr. Thomas has a blueprint for everyone. He has a blueprint for his homes. There's a trackable system so we can advance our businesses week over week, right? Oh, there's Pat. Hey, Pat, I'm just going to ask you, because I know we've spoken before on these calls. Hey, how was this last week for you, ma'am? I don't know if can we unmute Pat? No? Yes? Maybe?
Pat, just accept the request.
Hey, Ms. Robinson, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. So how was this last week for you?
Last week I just was 1 peak.
Okay, great. So
No
okay, 1 peak, no reps or customers. So check this out. Here's what I want you to know. Can all of us build, you guys, can all of us build off of 1 peak? Yes or no? I'm saying we can go, we can do more. We can do more. You guys, I love Al Thomas, because here's what Al did. Here's what Al just did. Here's how an SVP thinks. An SVP thinks in numbers. So an SVP, I said, can we build off of 1 peak? What I meant to say is, can we do more?
Yes.
But what his response was this. And here's what he understands about that intuitively. You got to get up to plate. You got to get up to the plate more than once. You can't create an average if you're only up there once. So here's what I know, Pat, right? Next week, I'm going to give you a challenge, right? And here's my challenge. This week, out of 7 full days, can you simply pique the interest of 10 people in a week? Is that a good goal?
Yes.
Great. I cannot wait to see what happens. You guys, these are the conversations. Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it. You guys, these are the conversations that I believe have to happen for people to advance their businesses. Now, let me put this caveat into this, and then I'm done, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Thomas. And anything that you want me to add, Mr. T, whatever you need from me, I'm happy to do. Let me explain this to you guys. Why did I do this exercise with you? Because I want you guys, as a result of this call and the decision that you made to do ACN, I want you to win. I want you to win. And sometimes we need to check in and go, you know what? why is my business not going, growing, building? Why am I not getting the what? Why am I not getting the results that I want? Well, I do know this. You're getting trained on the system. You're getting trained on techniques. I'm sure you are getting trained on mindset. You know, if you're ever on a call with Byron Nelson, he does customer acquisition, that's mindset. He does recruiting, that's mindset. He does comp plan, that.
Hang in there, everybody. We just lost his internet. While we're waiting for him to come back on, just to remind everybody, tonight at 6:00 p.m., we will be back with a 1 through 10 tonight on here, okay? Everybody, if everybody heard me do this, tonight, can you guys hear me? Tonight at 6 p.m., we're doing a 1 through 10 tonight. So get a guest on here tonight, and we're gonna do a quick start training tonight. Tomorrow morning, Mr. Nelson will be back with us at 9:00 a.m. And then tomorrow night we have happy hour with that. But I want to share something with you while we're waiting for him to get back on here.
Hey, Mr. Thomas, I'm on, sir.
Okay, there you are.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead, please. I just want to let you know that I'm on.
I want to show everybody, I have a group, what he's talking about, accountability. I got 2 separate groups. One's a yellow sheet of paper, one's a white sheet of paper. Now, you see that it says ETL, can you see that? ETL circle. So I have my ETL circle for 2020. I'll name a list of names on here who I do the same thing with that Mr. Dean Tarrolly's talking about. And here's how I look at it. It's a selective group. If you're worthy to get on here, you get a call by me to invite you on. It's invitation only for those who have done something that is worthy to be on here. And I take him and do the same thing he's talking about every week. The yellow one is leadership. For all RDs, all the RDs to get to RVP. It's the same thing, but a little different more, but it's a little more in your face. So exactly what he's telling you, I have 2 groups that I mentor every week simultaneously. Well, actually it's differently, but 2 groups I train who are worthy and get a call by me. It's like joining our circle because they've shown some display of leadership. Some of them get cut because they don't keep up with them on the weekly. They don't take it seriously. I cut them and I make room for new people to jump on here. So I'm scoping today by what Mr. Dean Tarrolly is teaching you. Who can I scope? But I don't care whose organization. You can be in other people's organization as far as I'm concerned. But I take under my wings and personally mentor separate from all my other calls. Back to you, Mr. Tarrolly.
You know, Mr. Thomas, here's what's so amazing about this. I didn't even know for a fact that you had those accountability groups, but I'm sure that you do. So you guys, here's what I picked up from what he just said. Here's what my question would be. In a private call or text to Mr. Thomas, it would be something to this effect. What do I need to do to get into that group? What do I need to do to get into that ETL accountability group? What do I need to do? Because once you know, right, then what do? Go after it. Do you realize that you're going to have you guys, watch this. You are going to have rep and customer production that's going to pay you. That is a result of going after a goal of being included in that group. Now you're talking about a business building. Now it's just not money and reps that's the goal. It's about inclusion in a leadership group. And the result of that inclusion is going to be you got paid. How great. How great. The result, you guys hear me, the result of working to be included in that group is you got paid. And a story has been created for you and your team. So look, you guys, to me, I love calls like this. And I know that we could go through everybody's numbers and we could go through everything. And we just, my encouragement to you is be honest, be truthful with yourself so you know what's going on in your business. And next week, you can't wait to give your numbers. Next week, you're raising your hand going, hey, look, I got to tell you, we got 2 reps this week. Wait, last week you had four peaks, 0 reps, 0 customers. This week you had 2 reps. You had a goal that you went after. And sometimes you need an Italian from Burbank, California to just push you a little bit. So hopefully that happened. Mr. Thomas, that's what I wanted to do with everybody. I know this was probably our longest call, like by a long shot, because usually I'm 35, 40 minutes. This is our longest call, but I hope that everybody got something out of this. I hope you guys will challenge yourself to track your business and advance your business the way that I know all of us can. So, Mr. Thomas, I appreciate the time. And
wow, Mr. Tarrolly, thank you so much. And I love that quote your mother said. Frustration is blocking the goal. It's so true. Guys, this is a good call today. Removing the emotions from the conversation, as so many people want to do. Even after he told a lot of us on the call, just give us your numbers, we still went into the story. Like Jim Rohn said, it's just the number in the bottom, not the story. You know, and you need to track and trace your, track your activity for results. Because that call I talked about, what you're talking about, it's all about results. And the guys and girls that own that call that I do, they know I don't hear the story. I just want to know the number, because it takes the emotions out of it. And you just put the icing on the cake. And I'm the same way. And it's also in the value. The money is not the issue. Money is the, wow. So I want to thank you. Tangibles, trackability, results. Everybody write that down. Mr. Dean Tarrolly says tangibles, trackable, get the results. And that's all that matters. ACN pays us on results. Not how many people you talk to, not how many people got excited, not all the peaks, not all the other stuff. They give us a check every Monday on the results. You got to be result orientated. That's exactly what he's talking about. Get the emotions, quit the story. Well, I'm gonna got this, somebody's gonna do that. My uncle next door, my bald head uncle, my aunt with no teeth, she's gonna, no. Results, week to week results, because that's how they pay us. That's how you go on the list. That's how you move up, results. So once again, can we show Mr. Dean Tarrolly some love for today's conference call? Come on, let's give him some love, everybody. He did a great job out there. Mr. Dean Tarrolly, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. And next Thursday, we're going to come back and we're going to go part 2 to this, and we're going to see some more of your results. So have some results report back next week. Don't get on here, oh, I didn't have, no, get on here. How do you feel to get on here next week? You got no results. Go do something in your business to grow it. That's why these calls are put together. Tonight at 6:00 p.m., right back here, 1 through 10. And we're going to do a quick start training. And tomorrow morning, we got Mr. Nelson. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Dean Tarrolly. What a great job. Let's get some results.
Thanks, you guys.
God bless. Be safe.
Happy hour.